Hoping to find your first winning product to sell on Amazon FBA? If you are, and you're still using merchant words as your keyword research tool, stop right now. You could be risking everything. Let me explain why. And by the end of this video, I promise you'll understand everything. What's up guys? Welcome to today's video. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much for taking the time and tuning in. I really appreciate your support. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Myles and I'm a 7-figure a year Amazon FBA private label seller. My goal with this channel is to empower as many people just like you to reach financial freedom and be able to live your dream life through Amazon FBA just like I've been able to do. If you vibe with my message and you think you could learn something from my experience, make sure to subscribe to the channel right now, like the videos if you enjoy them, and leave any comments, questions, or concerns you have. I really love reading them and I respond to every single one in the most helpful way that I possibly can. So today we're going to talk about keyword research and using the best keyword research tool in the best possible way to maximize your chance of finding and launching a winning product on Amazon. This video is a little bit more serious as this is one of the most common failure points for people just getting started. Product research is the single most important part of the process. If you get this wrong, it doesn't have to be perfect, but if you get this wrong, there is potentially nothing that you can do further down the track to salvage success. That product could be a failure. And keyword research is an integral part of finding that first product and doing that product research correctly. Now hold it for a second, because it's very likely that if you go away right now and find a product based on some of the information and the techniques that you've probably already learned, you could be setting yourself up for a future failure. Let me explain. I'm sure you've already seen a few videos just like this.
So the first thing that we need is merchant words, okay? Merchant words is a search database tool that we use to search for Amazon's database.
Basically how this works is the more people are searching for the product, the higher the demand, the more money you're gonna make, because there's there's a much bigger market, right?
First, I wanna make one thing crystal clear. This is not a shot at other creators. No disrespect is intended, and I tip my hat to anybody willing to put in the time and the effort to create content that is free and publicly available in order to educate and empower people to achieve financial freedom and improve their lives. However, the point that I want to illustrate is that in today's world, everything that you and I as entrepreneurs do depends on rapidly changing information. The competitive landscape on Amazon was completely different 2 years ago, and in 2 years from now, it will be completely different again. Tactics, technology, platforms, and definitely the company Amazon itself, its own policies and rules. These are all evolving and changing on an almost daily basis. And as new information comes out, you and I, both of us, we need to change and adapt with it. So tactics, techniques, and tools that were really effective 12 months ago or even 6 months ago can today become irrelevant or even dangerous. We've seen that very clearly demonstrated with Amazon's recent review changes. Thousands and thousands of Amazon sellers are reeling right now, struggling and pivoting to adapt their businesses around this. And unfortunately, for some, it may mean the end to their Amazon dream. Again, the tools and the tactics that you may see recommended by others out of pure good intention may fast become irrelevant, ineffective, or worse, lead you down the path to failure. In this dynamic environment, if you have the most current, up-to-date information and knowledge, and you know what works today, you win. So as somebody just getting started down this fantastic journey, it's in your best interest to stay up to date with the information of today, not of 6 months ago. So this is the theme of today's video, to keep you up to date with the most current and cutting edge information and the way that we're doing things in the second half of 2018, so that you can get started ahead of the game, separate yourself from the rest of the pack, find a winning product, and kill it on Amazon. So if you've been using merchant words already for your keyword research, or you've been taught to use it, I want to show you that there is a much better alternative. I'm going to explain why it's better today, and I'm also going to walk you through exactly how it works. First, let's get started with some fundamentals. So I already said that product research is the most important part of the process, and keyword research is an integral part of product research. First, let's talk about why that's the case. So Amazon is a search-based marketplace. That means that if a customer wants to find your product and buy it, the way that they're going to do it 90 to 95% of the time is they're going to either open up Amazon.com or go on the mobile app, go to the search bar and type in the most relevant words that they can think of to describe that product. This means that the success of the vast majority of products on Amazon is determined by the ability for that product to show up for its most relevant keywords in the search results. So if you want to succeed with your keyword research for your first Amazon product, you need to consider these 4 things. So firstly, the number of keywords. And it's not just those main ones that you can think of like this. There's often hundreds and sometimes thousands of keywords that customers will be typing in when they're looking for your product. Secondly, the relevancy of each of those keywords. The more relevant the keyword is, the higher the customers intend to buy, and that means more sales. Thirdly, the search volume. So a high search volume means that more people are typing that keyword in when looking for that product. Finally, competitiveness, and this is the key one because this is how many other products are showing up for that same product search result. And to take this back a step, the competitiveness of a keyword depends on how well those competitors have done their keyword research. If you know something they don't, and if you're using a tool that they're not, you're going to have access to more keywords that are more relevant, with more search volume and less competition. Now, I know this sounds obvious to you the way that I'm describing it, but in full disclosure, I'm a 7-figure a year seller, and up until 2 days ago, I was still using Merchant Words as my main keyword research tool. And I'd be willing to bet that the vast majority of other Amazon sellers are as well, because it's very easy to forget about how dynamic this environment is and just do things because they have worked for you in the past. Now, as a new seller, you have a fantastic opportunity to get started ahead of everybody else who's doing things the old way. So 2 days ago, I saw that Jungle Scout had released a new tool called Keyword Scout, and that now comes included as part of the Jungle Scout web app. Now, I've had previous experience with the web app. I think it's great, and I actually used the Jungle Scout web app to launch all of my original products when I was first starting out. However, after those first few months, I stopped using it because I was essentially launching new products that were very similar to my existing ones within my existing brands, or in other words, I didn't feel that I needed new product discovery. However, keyword research was and always has been incredibly important, so when I heard that Jungle Scout had released Keyword Scout, I immediately hopped into my old Jungle Scout account to check it out. And needless to say, I think it's a game changer in a very good way for my business. Now, to show you exactly what I mean by that, I'm going to hop into my Merchant Words account, I'm going to run a search, I'm going to walk you through those 4 factors that we talked about before that you need to consider to ensure that you have success with your own keyword research. And then we'll go into Keyword Scout, look at the same search through those same 4 factors, and I'll show you exactly what it does that makes it a game-changing keyword research tool.
Okay, so we're on Merchant Words, and I'm going to look up massage roller. So we have our results for massage roller, and you can see the first thing that we're concerned about is the number of keywords that we find, and Merchant Words finds us 2011 in this case, that's the number here. So the way that Merchant Words works is that it takes the words that we've entered as the search result, massage roller, and it uses a database that's essentially interpolated from Google data, from Google search data, and then returns broad match results. So in terms of search results, we have exact, phrase, and broad. Exact match means massage roller, nothing more, nothing less. Sometimes also you can pluralize it, so it could be massage rollers and a few other changes here and there, but it's essentially the words that we've inputted almost exactly. Phrase match means that it's massage roller with potentially words on either end, so it could be big massage roller foam. And broad match means that the 2 words massage roller have to be contained somewhere in the keyword phrase, but they don't have to be together and they don't have to be in the same order. So it could be roller massage, or it could be massage big roller. Anything like that will show up as a broad search result. Now, the limitation with broad match is that both of those words have to show up somewhere in the keyword phrase. So for a massage roller, what if a customer is typing in foam roll, for example? The product is the same, but it's a different way of describing it. It's a different way that doesn't happen to have either of those words in it. Now, in this case, if we look down through the Merchant Words list, we won't find foam roll, even though it's the same product. What that means is that in terms of the number of keywords, we're going to be limited to only those ones that have these 2 words in them. The second thing that we need to consider is relevancy. So which of these keywords are the same product that we're looking for versus which ones are, maybe quite different and therefore not that relevant. And remember, if the relevancy is low, A, it will be penalized by Amazon because Amazon wants relevancy, but B, the customer isn't going to buy it. The customer intent when they see that product is going to be very low, and so the conversion rate will be low. So we have no way of measuring this with Merchant Words. We have search volume and the search term, and that's it. So the way to work out relevancy in this case is to go through each search term that you think is relevant versus the ones that aren't, go into Amazon, type it in, look at the products, and make the judgment call from there. This is not such a bad thing because it's always good to go and be on Amazon searching different results, because it really gives you a lot more information that in a tool like this or in any other product discovery or keyword research tool, a lot of that information gets condensed out and so you don't see it. However, it is going to be an incredibly time-consuming process to go through any number of these 2,000 keywords and manually check the relevancy of each one. So next is search volume, and the issue with Merchant Words is that the estimated monthly search volume is based on Google data. Now, Google is a great search engine, obviously it's the largest in the world, but what you have to watch out for is that the intent, when somebody is searching for something on Google and contributing to the Google monthly search volume, oftentimes their intent is very different to the type of buyer who's going on Amazon with very clear purchase intent. So to make that clearer, a lot of the time somebody's going on Google to look up information for something, for example, whereas on Amazon, they're looking to buy it. And so when you're taking an extrapolation from Google data, which includes things like, educational intent versus buying, the monthly search volumes can be quite inaccurate. And so Merchant Words changes the data. It has its own proprietary database where it makes adjustments to try and equalize that back to what Amazon buyers are looking for, but it's not accurate and it doesn't have the real data. And so what we can often find is that, yes, monthly search volume, if you're just looking at it in really vague terms, in terms of like this is competitive or this is high volume versus this is low volume, Merchant Words is great for that. But if you want to start narrowing down to identify the most relevant, the most high volume keywords, it really doesn't give you that accuracy. And the fourth and final factor is competitiveness. And again, Merchant Words doesn't give us the ability to see this in any meaningful, scalable way. Essentially, we have to go onto Amazon for each of these keywords that we've identified through Merchant Words and look it up using Jungle Scout or Viral Launch or some other tool. And from there, we can see, the reviews versus the revenue and make a judgment call on the competitiveness that way. But again, that's on a keyword by keyword basis, and we're looking at 2,000 keywords. So that's not practical through Merchant Words. So to summarize, out of those 4 factors, Merchant Words doesn't do any one of the 4 particularly well. It's definitely the tool that most people have been using for a long time, but when you break it down like this, it's just not that effective. So what I want to show you now is Keyword Scout, and I'm going to go through the same process, and let's see how much better it does. Okay, and you can immediately notice that we have a lot more detailed information using Keyword Scout. First of all, we're looking at the number of keywords, and here we've got 2,759, and on Merchant Words, 2,000. So we're getting 700 and additional keywords. Now the main reason for that is, like I said before, Merchant Words uses a broad match search categorization to get those return keywords. But Keyword Scout goes further than that, and it actually looks at relevancy on a much more granular level. So the example that I used before, which we couldn't find using Merchant Words, which was foam roll, if we look this up here, shows up, even though neither of those 2 words are the same as what we've searched in. So you'll see a lot of examples like that, where Jungle Scout is able to identify relevancy links through different keywords based on what a customer is actually searching and what they're looking for and their intent, rather than just having it match these 2 words. So that's already opening you up to, in this case, an additional 700 keywords. That's a significant percentage increase. And the second factor is relevancy. So again, Jungle Scout has an additional metric that we can use that Merchant Words doesn't. And it's actually got this relevancy score over here. So I've sorted by relevancy, going down from 100 down to 0, I guess, or down to very low. And Massage Roller obviously shows up at the top, and it has a search volume of around 9,000. So what we can do here, rather than having to go through individually each keyword, type it into Amazon, and then checking, is it showing up the actual product that we're looking for, and therefore would customers be searching for our product through that keyword, we can use the relevancy score as a very quick top-down metric to just check, are those keywords going to give us the results that we want? And I haven't had a lot of time to play around with this yet, but from looking at a few keyword searches, it looks like it's pretty good as a quick estimation. So if we look down now, what we're looking for is other keywords that are relevant, but also have decent search volume. So obviously these, that's a typo, which by the way is another thing that Merchant Words doesn't do. So Jungle Scout here is intelligent enough to realize that when somebody types in massage roller, they actually mean massage roller, they just hit the wrong key. Not many people are doing that, but Jungle Scout is going to return those keywords as well. And these will be really, really cheap PPC clicks, by the way. So here, in this case, there's no data, no one's bidding on them. That's because nobody else has discovered them using a tool like this yet. So in terms of finding relevant high volume keywords, we can just scroll down this list until we find some with, something similar in terms of search volume. Here we go, muscle roller. So that has a relevancy score of 26. And so what we could do in this case would be to put muscle roller as potentially a second keyword in the title. So first it would be massage roller, and then second you could put muscle roller, or potentially even you could put muscle roller first, because the search volume in this case is higher. So depending on what the product is and the relevancy, this gives you more options to play with, and very quickly as well. So again, you don't have to click through all of these ones manually to be looking at each specific keyword and what products are showing up. Jungle Scout, Keyword Scout is kind of doing that for us. And the third one is search volume. Now this is probably the key area where Keyword Scout blows away Merchant Words, because Jungle Scout, Keyword Scout is using real Amazon data to generate these search volumes. And not just that, but it's not just giving us the exact match search volume, it's also giving us the broad match search volume. So again, exact match search volume is customers that are typing in massage roller, those two words, nothing else, maybe plural, but maybe massage rollers, but other than that, no other possible permutations. So there are 9,741 people doing that per month. And then the broad match is people typing in, like big massage roller or massage foam roller, things like that with other words in between, but those two words contained somewhere in the phrase. And there's almost 70,000 people typing in that each month. And again, this is actual Amazon data. So that whole issue with it being a third-party database based on Google data, where customers often they're not even customers, they may be just looking for information, that whole problem is eliminated using Keyword Scout, which I think is so powerful. And I would put much more faith in these numbers. And these are incredibly important numbers as well, because at the end of the day, if something is getting no search volume, if nobody's looking for that product on Amazon, you are not going to sell any units. And when you look at something that's taken from Google, that can potentially happen. It could be a product that a lot of people want to know about, for example, or they want to use it somehow, or they want to find out information about it, but they don't actually need to buy it. And so that's the risk that you run with merchant words. You don't have that with Keyword Scout. And the last thing is competitiveness. And again, we've got another key metric that we can use to estimate competitiveness in advance. And so we have here the exact and broad bids. We've also got the HSA bid. So if you're not aware, the HSA is a headline search ad, and that is these ads right up here. So it actually shows, I believe it's up to 4 ads in one. And the exact and broad match bids are for these, where are they? Sponsored and sponsored. So for these two to show up in the top 3 results normally, this is how much somebody's paying. So $1.50 for the exact match, which is this and that search volume, or the broad, which is normally a bit lower, it's that volume. And so this is really key information for your keyword research, because the more expensive those PPC bids are, the more competitive that keyword is. It means more people recognize how valuable that keyword is, and they're willing to pay for it. And this is a direct measure. So this is going to give you a great idea when you're launching your product, for example, how much you'll have to pay for PPC costs. Again, this is Amazon data, by the way, so this will equate to Amazon's suggested bid, which means that close to 100% of the time, if you bid that much and you pay that much per click, your ad will get shown in one of these 2 or 3 top spots. So this has quite powerful implications for doing keyword research for the purpose of PPC campaigns and optimizing your PPC campaigns. What we can do is we can export this as a CSV, open it up, and now I'm going to start filtering and just looking for underpriced bids that I can get, that I can rank for cheaper. So I'll get rid of some of the irrelevant keywords, let's say 10 and above. And then because it's for ranking purposes, we're looking at exact match bids. So I will just sort that by smallest to largest. I have noticed these 10-cent ones, there seems to be some sort of error in the data. So I'm just going to get rid of that and then sort by smallest to largest. And so what we can do is look at this list of keywords, see which bids are the lowest and the ones that also have enough search volume for it to be worthwhile, and we can selectively bid on them. So for example, in this case, yoga roller is quite cheap, again, compared to these other ones, but it's got decent search volume. So we could target that, and I'd add that to an exact match campaign and start bidding that exact bid in order to rank for yoga roller. So we've shown how powerful this can be for identifying low competition, high value keywords. So what we're looking for is a low PPC bid, higher search volume, higher exact match search volume, and a high enough relevancy score to make it worthwhile. But Keyword Scout also has a few extra features that I really like. Firstly is a reverse Aysen search. So essentially now we've typed in massage roller, which is a keyword, and that returns lots of products. But we can actually do the opposite and type in the product and get a list of keywords. So we can type the Aysen in here where we had the keyword previously, click search, and what this is going to return is a result of all the keywords where this product is already showing up. So this is essentially taking a lot of this work out of the process. So we can see where somebody else is already ranking for, and then we can replicate that with our own product. So one other thing that Jungle Scout has kind of just thrown in here with everything else is the recommended giveaway column. So that is the number of units that you would need to give away daily, every day for 7 to 14 days to be able to rank highly for whichever specific keyword you're looking at. I haven't had a chance to test this out. I don't normally do giveaways myself, But given that Jungle Scout has pretty much the biggest database on Amazon product data that exists, these estimations are probably the most accurate that you'll find.
So in short, Keyword Scout is a game-changing keyword research tool. In each of those 4 factors that you need to consider for successful keyword research, being the search relevancy, the search volume, the number of keywords, and the competition, Keyword Scout just has a lot more to offer than Merchant Words. I've started using it in my business, and I think you as a new seller have a fantastic opportunity to get ahead of all of the other sellers like me until very recently who are still holding onto those old ways of doing things, those old tools and those old techniques that, as we've shown, don't necessarily work that well. One last thing, I mentioned that a while ago I stopped using the web app because I didn't need product discovery tools at the time. So I'm now paying $39 a month purely for Keyword Scout. I think if you are also looking for keyword research tools as well as product research tools, then the $39 a month for the Jungle Scout web app, including the Keyword Scout, is almost a no-brainer. So I'm going to include a link down below where you can check it out. I strongly recommend that if you are using Merchant Words currently for your keyword research, or you're considering using it, that you instead check out Keyword Scout because it's a lot better. So guys, that's just what I've learned over the last few days and I wanted to share it with you. I hope you found it valuable. If you did enjoy this, please subscribe. If you haven't already, please give the video a like, leave me a comment. Don't go anywhere, the next video is coming right up and I'll see you there.